I just want to say something. If it wasn't for y'all, if it wasn't for y'all, I would really think that I ain't doing it. Because the industry I'm in does not recognize me. And to be clear, I'm speaking about the black spaces in the industry I'm in. Because y'all know I don't give two damns about any of these other spaces. But the black spaces is what I'm referring to. Which is largely in part why I've realized like I need to shift out of this industry. You know, like I don't get invited to Essence Women in Hollywood. I've never been invited to the NAACP Image Awards. I've been nominated for an Image Award. Never been invited to the NAACP Image Awards. Never been honored at Black Girls Rock. Like I've hosted these events. You know what I'm saying? I literally hosted the BET Awards in 2020 in my house, and I was not invited to the BET Awards since. So I just want to thank y'all for always reminding me that I really am valuable, because the game and the industry that I've been in has never let me know.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex, and I would absolutely love it if you guys would like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really supports my content. Here on this channel, I do some TV show recaps as well as pop culture, social media, and just basically trending or popular media opinions, think pieces, reporting, all of that you can expect on this channel. So thank you so much for watching. Today's video is going to be about Amanda Seales, because Amanda Seales recently came back onto TikTok again. If you're not aware, Amanda Seales played Tiffany on Insecure, among many other roles, but that's probably the most popular role that you would know her from. And she has come onto TikTok basically complaining about how she is not really invited to award shows. She has hosted multiple award shows, but they don't actually invite her back to be on those shows. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, what I think. Do I think that this is a racial issue? Do I think this is an issue of who she is? And go on from there. So if you're not familiar with Amanda Seales, she is a very polarizing character. Again, her character Tiffany on Insecure is actually a polarizing character, but even outside the show, Tiffany Seales has definitely not had the easiest or best ride. A lot of people have cited her as being very opinionated. She is somebody who majored in African American studies, and she has been very, very opinionated on her different opinions surrounding varying topics, not only just in the conscious and social spaces, but in the world. One of my biggest and first forays with her was actually through Instagram. Her stories would be so long. Like when I tell you, she would have like 20 stories lined up, and it would be so much, so long, so much content, and I feel like she'd be saying a whole bunch of nothing. She has really become known for her brash take, her very forthcoming and direct tone, and just really being very opinionated, or being more so of a contrarian than others. And that, I think, has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way when it comes to consuming Amanda Seales. She has also had some forays in her public life. She had a falling out with her publicist, which is one of the most popular things. Also, when being on Insecure, particularly in season 5, she really wasn't in a lot of the press. She wasn't really in a lot of the cast kind of photos, the cast events. She was nowhere to be found. So it was speculated that she wasn't really getting along well as for the fact that she was on The Real. And even on The Real, she, it is said that her contract was not renewed because she did not fit in with the cast. I think that Amanda Seales has always been somebody who, you either love her or you hate her, but I think a lot of it has skewed more towards the side of hate. Because of the way that she is and her approach. And I do understand what it's like to be in her position. I definitely have had times in my life where I was on my I am so conscious, I'm pro-Black, I am going to educate the world and get my opinion out there, no matter how harsh, no matter how forthcoming it is, no matter how much it makes other people mad. And look, I want to say for the record, I don't think that anybody has to conform to anything. I don't think that you have to act a certain way or be a certain way in order to be liked. I think especially as Black women, there is a lot of tone policing that goes on with us and things as such. However, that being said, I do think bringing it back into the TikTok, I do think it's a little bit interesting to be complaining that some of these maybe white institutions, maybe some of these people that you've spoken up against, now you're, I guess, kind of essentially crying and complaining that those same institutions don't want to include you. I think that for me is where I'm lost. However, I'm not going to let it go understated that this does happen a lot with Black women, where Amanda Seales is also considered to be a comedian. So she has hosted these award shows and they have not invited her back. And I do think that is very common. That part I find to be very true, that they will, use you, they will use you for their entertainment, but when it comes time to actually honor you, recognize you, they don't want to give you a seat at the table. And that I will definitely agree. I don't think it's very fair that they have her hosting the shows, even from her home back during, the pandemic, and now, she's not invited back to those same shows. I definitely think that that is unfair behavior. However, I do think that there is really something to be said for the way that you present yourself and how that's going to work in the media. Amanda Seales is not a palatable human. I'm sorry. Anytime I've seen that woman, she is complaining. She is ranting. She is talking down on things. And it's not for nothing. Amanda Seales is educated. I believe she has a degree in Black studies, which is, she's an educated woman. It's not like the stuff she's saying is trash, is garbage, is things that isn't accurate. But I think again, and you saw this a lot, I was a victim to it too. I was in the Tumblr woke crowd who really felt like you needed to be in an argument on the internet or be in an argument with people all the time. You needed to be in an argument to get your point across. You needed to be harsh, brash, in the forefront. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because I believe as Black women, and you're talking about the Black experience, be whoever you are. But I think you have to understand too that a lot of these white institutions, and at the end of the day, even if it's not a fully white award show, even if it's BET is owned by Viacom. Viacom is a white network. Okay, the NAACP Awards. Sure, that's a Black award show, but at the end of the day, it's marketed to be palatable for white people. Like, I'm just being honest with you. These organizations are not for the community. They're to be consumed by white consumers, and that's just reality. And so I do feel that it's a double-edged sword and a little double-sided for, I think, Amanda to be the main one really talking out against these people, fighting with people, arguing them down, always having something to say. But then in the same vein, it's also like you're complaining that you're not being included in those spaces. What do you want? For myself personally, I got over being in that space of always having to argue down and have these deep down conversations like this with any and everybody that I thought was racist or not conscious or not woke, because it was like, why are we having these arguments? And I'm making myself upset. And at the end of the day, it's not changing anything. And I'm not even saying that you can't speak up against certain things, but I think it's also in the way that you present yourself. Anybody who presents themselves in a negative light is going to have that happen, especially as a woman and especially as a Black woman. And I'm not saying as a Black woman, you need to police how you act or police who you are. But I'm just saying, if you want to assimilate into this white media, that's what you're going to have to do. Like, that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just reality, is that you're going to have to assimilate and be in the way that they want you to be. If you want to be radical, you want to be opinionated, you want to stand 10 toes down and be who you are, that is fine. And look, I'll be honest. I don't dislike Amanda Seales as much as a lot of people in the community dislike her. I don't. I don't. But I think that there has to be a point too where, are you coming at people aggressively for nothing? Or are you just yelling at people to yell at them? Or are you actually saying something of substance? So for me, I don't know what the right answer is when it comes to the Amanda Seales situation, but I do feel that Amanda has to be under the recognition and understanding that sometimes, girl, you coming off a certain way. You're not as palatable as you think you are, and people do recognize and see that. All right, guys, so that is my hot take on this today. Please let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think Amanda's right for feeling this way? Do you think that maybe she needs to tone it down? Do you like who she is? Do you not like who she is? Let me know. I want, let's have a convo about it. And if you've made it to this point, please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you like this content. It inspires me to keep bringing you guys more content. It inspires me to continue to come here, and it helps my channel grow. So thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!